Hotep. This will now be part 3 of the third segment of Word Sound Creates Our Realities, or Manifest Our Realities. Now, where I left off in part 2, I was speaking on the collective unconsciousness, or I guess you could say, the memory bank of the whole entire universe. Just to briefly explain that, always know this, my people. There is nothing that is ever forgotten. Nothing. Everything is recorded in some way into the it makes its way to the collective unconsciousness. Every experience that every human, every man, every mankind, every humankind, every beast, everything that has ever existed, existing now, and will exist, all experiences of life, no matter how minute, are all recorded into this collective memory bank of, or consciousness of the universe. Unconscious meaning that a lot of people are not conscious of it. The UN, which is the prefix un, means not. A lot of us are not conscious to this. A lot of us don't realize that there's nothing that is ever forgotten. Everything is recorded. And if those of us become conscious enough and more mentally aware of things, we will be able to tap into this memory bank and be able to go far back into history, to even be able to see the future and to see things that are happening now through the sciences of what is known as clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. Okay, now, in the collective unconscious, or unconsciousness of the universe, or multiverse, every symbol, every word, every sound that has ever been drawn, seen, uttered is recorded. Okay? So, just like I was speaking of, previously, the words want and stupid. The original meanings of these particular words were already recorded into the collective unconscious long time ago. However, we have allowed ourselves to be conditioned and have accepted the reality that want means that there's something that we can get. However, I just explained to you, want does not refer to that. Want is like saying, I don't have, and I'm not going to have it. This is why a lot of times when you hear a lot of people saying, I want to have a business, I want to have a good man, I want to have a good woman, I want to have a better paid job. When you look down the line, they don't get these things. And the reason why they're not getting them is because the incorrect word sound and the intent that they're projecting is blocking them. There's some, I guess you could say, healers or whatever out there that use this particular method that is supposed to get rid of blocks out of your consciousness, or get rid of blocks that can keep you from being more prosperous or happier in life. That's something we have to undo. And we are doing it because of not only what we're saying, we're doing it by what we're thinking and what we're feeling and the actions that reflect those thoughts and feelings. Okay? Now, I wish now to move forward into some other words. Join me on a little journey here. Let's look up the word God. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm choosing to look up this word is because, number one, I found out not too long ago, once I became more conscious and aware of the things that were going on, I didn't like to use the word God. And the reason why I didn't like to use the word God is because of the fact I didn't wish to be uttering something out into the universe and I didn't know what the hell it meant. Okay? Now, if you all have some special or the correct type of dictionaries, you will find in the etymology that God refers to that which generates, or that brings forth manifestation. So, in so many words, if your mother and your father got together, copulated, and the result through the unification of the egg and sperm is you, then your parents are God. If you bring forth an idea for a new product and you manifest it and it goes on, whether you make money off of it or not, the fact that you put that out and you were able to manifest it, you are God. Okay? Now, it used to get me a lot of times when I would hear different individuals who would go around shouting that the black man is God or man is God and all of this stuff. However, I found that a lot of those different people who would say that could not even explain to me whatever it meant. Okay? What it means is that every time we have a thought, every time we have a feeling, we are projecting out to the universe. And with those thoughts and feelings, when we're verbalizing it, we are definitely putting something out into the universe to bring forth that creation. Now, what's going to determine the power, and I guess you could say the time of that particular manifestation to manifest, whether you do it or your thought and your energy goes out and somebody else embraces it and use it, is determined by the intent that you put behind or put with the particular thoughts and feelings and the words. In so many words, you got to know that it's going to come into fruition. And sometimes don't necessarily worry about the details. You just know, hey, this is going to come at some point. Don't place a time limit on it. Just know that it's going to come. And anyone that can tell you, whether they won the lottery, whether they received an inheritance or something like that that just supposedly came out of the blue, they were in the proper space and time to be able to receive what it is that they received, because there was something that they put out a long time ago, whether they even consciously realized or not, that allowed them to put themselves in that place. So, in so many words, once again, those people are God too. God just means that which generates. Okay? Now, let's look at the reference of God. One particular reference is in Christianity and other monotheistic religions, the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being. Okay, that's interesting, because if it was all about moral authority, then where did the devil come from? Anyways, another post. God, in certain other religions, superhuman being or spirit worship as having power over nature or human fortunes. A deity. I will read that one again. In certain other religions, a superhuman being or spirit worship as having power over nature or human fortunes. A deity. Now, there's various legends of superhuman type individuals all throughout history and mythology, whether we're talking about Yahshua or Jesus, whether we're talking about Vishnu, whether we're talking about Heru, Asar, or Set, all have been attributed to having superhuman powers. And then there were other people that were mentioned in other legends that were not based upon mythology, even up to this day. People who can allow themselves to breathe underwater, people who can use their mind to allow themselves not to become cold, even though they're running butt naked in 0-degree weather. Okay? These are people who have gone beyond the so-called limits of what humans are supposed to be able to do and manifested superhuman abilities. People who use intuition, clairvoyance, or whatever, are using superhuman or metahuman abilities, meaning that that person is what? A god. Okay? Now, got to end this segment. I'll continue forward in number 4. Hotep.